When people play politics, when they play with large-scale manipulations of perception, a la Joseph Goebbels, they play with fire, even if they intend to do good. The idea that the end justifies the means has a lot going against it. And I want to give you one example of how a political strategy can misfire, how it can end up very, very badly indeed, depending on your perspective. Maybe in some regards it doesn't end up so badly after all. But let me try to explain this particular one. Um, Now, elaborating on um, elaborating on my migration journey and what I encountered upon arriving in the First World West from a colonial outpost, which was really backward in many ways, very 17th or 18th century in many regards, and also industrially backwards, and also not wealthy, not rich, also militaristic. Um, Considering what I encountered when I arrived here on this land where I am today in Australia, there was a mood and an attitude and an undercurrent, which was that I had reaped rewards unjustly, that I had unfair privileges. But particularly, and this is the important thing, the way that this was framed was that basically those who were living in the core of the West, in the First World, had achieved their privileges justly. And that's because they were not only wise and good and smart, but they were also tough. They viewed themselves in that way, and they said, well, that's why we have these rewards, that's why we have status. But my status, if I had any, in fact, I hadn't had any in colonial society. I was a child in that society, which means very little status. But my status anyway was deemed to be illegitimate because I didn't have any qualities that would have given me status except the race that I was born into. So this was what I'm outlining or trying to hear is the perspective that I encountered, and really an emotional attitude that I encountered when I was moved by my family from Africa to Australia, and what we called in Rhodesia took the gap. It's a very dismissive and contemptuous term for people that left the country because they couldn't stand the heat. You took the gap, So the Rhodesians viewed those who took the gap as weaklings. You're supposed to stay there and face military fire, but eventually they all took the gap, went through the gap that was available for them if they could, out of the frying pan into the fire. So I ended up here, obviously, in Australia, and the attitude was, well, you had unjust status. You only had something because you used the trickery of racial politics, and you had no intrinsic worth, and therefore you're all the things that we're not. Whereas we are tough, and we got there by our own might. And we are intellectual, and we are morally discriminating. You are the opposite of those things. You just got there for no reason. If the status that I allegedly had, because you had a white color of your skin, and you made arguments on that basis, which I mean, obviously. I was a child. So I had not played these political games that allegedly I had, but there were political games being played against me, and this was one of them. And the attitude and the idea that I was not tough. Uh, Whereas it may have been true when I first arrived on Australian soil, eventually I had no choice but to toughen up because uh, every time I complained of anything or even asserted anything or even tried to speak up for myself, I was told it's simply because I'm not tough. I'm experiencing things in this world of ours because I'm not tough, and nobody else experiences those things. Nobody else has those emotions about things. Nobody has any feeling sensation, only me. And I thought, well, maybe that could be true. I need to toughen up. I really thought this was the case. Um, and so I worked on a project of toughening myself up. And I believe I was very successful with that, in fact. But what happened is, this is adding on to the previous video, why I didn't get effective therapy. Well, there were all sorts of numbers of reasons, and I think the major one was an implicit prejudice, and also the effectiveness of this propaganda campaign that put it out there that colonials were not tough. They were just kind of imposters and were weaklings who climbed to the top of the pile um, through trickery and not through mental strength or inner capability or something like that. So, but the toughness issue seemed to be a core one. Every time I said something is not right, they would say, "Oh, you're so fragile, you're so weak. How can you feel anything? We don't feel anything." And I thought, yes, you're right. Because actually another thing too is that in colonial society we were taught to view the real Westerners as our superiors, and that we were taught to see them as knowing better and understanding better and being exemplars. So I thought, yes, you're right. Yeah, I'm not as tough as you are, so I worked so hard on it to be tough, to be stronger, and I think that what happened, and here's the punchline, is that when I went to try to get therapy, my attitude and my views were that the Westerners were so monumentally tough and tough-minded and capable and towering pillars of strength, because that's what they'd taught me to see and to understand and to acknowledge. So I went in there like, I can say anything to this therapist. This therapist is so tough. This therapist is a Westerner, so I expressed my views very directly and without any couching of them in some kind of sensitive emotional terms. I'll just put them out there because these guys are so very, very tough. And so, yeah, it took me a lot of unlearning to realize that was a false view, a propaganda notion, a distortion that had been put out there by various people with various political ideas, trying to achieve a result by using these very, very nefarious and dark means. But I honestly believed that any Westerner could take what I had to say to them directly because they were so gargantuan. They were overwhelmingly tough and powerful and strong, mentally strong people. And in fact, in most cases, I found I was the tougher-minded one, and I had developed a lot of inner strength over the course of dealing with these difficulties, and that I had to develop more of my own inner strength again, because I would not get assistance. And so finally, and I said I would reach the punchline. Finally, they turned me into what they feared, I guess, or into a formidable force anyway. Very tough, I do believe I have the ability to survive almost anything now. So much tougher than I ever had been when I was a little sort of Ned Flanders kind of character that arrived on their shore. Um, but that's how political strategies can backfire. You play with dark magic, and it can easily explode in your hands.